What's up, guys? Mickle here, and in this video we're going to talk about the XRP price chart because I'm starting to see some things I believe are extremely promising, and I think most of the community is just really not paying attention to this. Guys, a lot of people think that XRP's lack of volatility right now is something that is telling them that XRP is not going to run this bull run. XRP is going to lag behind. It's never going to catch up. Guys, in this video I want to show you a couple charts that I believe are going to completely change your mind and make you extremely optimistic for what's right around the corner. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Thank you to everyone who likes the videos and subscribes to the channel. Guys, these two things really do help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange Uphold down in the description of this video. With that said, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, as many of you know, I just got back from Consensus. That's the reason I wasn't able to produce a lot of content last week. It was a ton of fun, but I am so shot. Last night, my plane was supposed to get into Connecticut at 5 p.m., ended up getting into Boston at 2 p.m., then had to drive all the way home. So kind of a crazy end to the week, but it was a really, really cool week. Got to meet a whole bunch of awesome people developing in the cryptocurrency industry. And my overall take, without getting into too much detail from going Consensus, is that I'm extremely optimistic on where the industry is headed. It seems like there is so much momentum, so much excitement, so much real world businesses coming into this space. And I just think being at Consensus and getting to meet with a lot of these people reconfirms to me that this space is growing at a rapid clip. There are real innovations coming here, and things like the XRP ledger, which are chains focused on producing real world value for the real world, are going to be poised to benefit most. Now, guys, I always like to talk about that real quick at the start of any TA video, because I think it's so important to understand that nothing we're talking about when it comes to technical analysis is magic lines, or these things are just going to happen because the charts are telling us it's going to happen. It's because the fundamentals are dictating that, hey, something big is likely around the corner. The fundamentals are telling us that this chain is getting exponentially more important and more valuable in the world. And if the charts are telling us that that fundamental value increase in the importance of the chain could also be reflected in the prices of the token, well, that's something we absolutely need to be paying attention to. To me, the fundamentals of XRP are absolutely through the roof right now, and I have never been more excited about what's being built. And it's just so important that we start off any technical analysis discussion with that, because ultimately, I think it's the most important thing. And the first thing I just want to talk about is something that we've talked about a lot on the channel, and that is just this massive consolidation pattern. Once again, guys, these aren't magical lines. All we're seeing here is that the lows are getting higher and the highs are getting lower. Ultimately, what we have seen throughout history is this kind of pattern squeezes the price, and we get a massive move of volatility when it breaks out from one side to the other. Now, I believe the breakout is going to be to the upside, and we'll talk about more on why that is the case later in the video. But just to let you guys know, the thing that I believe is ultimately going to cause this thing to break out is some kind of decision in the Ripple SEC case, some kind of massive partnership being announced after that partner feels they have the clarity when Ripple ultimately beats the SEC to talk about these things more publicly, something that's going to cause a lot of excitement and a lot of different people flowing into XRP, large institutions, who knows. What I think is so interesting is that is going to happen right at the end of this consolidation pattern somewhere in here. This is where we're expecting Judge Torres to ultimately make her final ruling and put an end to this case. And for those of you wondering about dates, this is essentially any time from now to late summer. So we're expecting something very, very big around the corner in terms of essentially a massive catalyst to get excitement into XRP and cause massive amounts of volatility to flow back into the asset. Now, the other thing we're watching extremely closely, and this is a historical pattern that I believe cannot be ignored, and that's XRP to Bitcoin. What we can see here is almost every single time XRP has traded against Bitcoin to these ranges down here, we have seen a parabolic move upwards for XRP. Now, this is one of the indicators that I love, because whenever XRP to Bitcoin gets down to these lower levels, people start panicking on XRP. They start saying, oh, XRP's dead. XRP's never going to recover. This is why you don't buy altcoins, blah, 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 blah. This is when people start panicking. And this is typically the perfect contraindicator to tell you that, well, XRP's move is likely extremely close because it is at its historical low levels. Now, guys, what you can see is every single time XRP against Bitcoin has been down to this purple box, we have seen an exponential move upward for XRP against Bitcoin. Typically, these moves are followed by 1000% moves by XRP. And it's almost like clockwork, right? Every single time we get down there, we get one of these massive exponential moves. So I'm simply predicting that we're likely going to see this same thing play out again. And what I think is so interesting is if you line up the behavior we're seeing right now with this consolidation down here, where typically XRP bottoms against Bitcoin and makes its parabolic move upward, and overlay that with what we were just talking about on this chart, we can see that not only is XRP to Bitcoin telling us that there's likely a big move around the corner, but the XRP chart alone with the fundamental news catalyst we're expecting is also signaling, right, that there's likely a very big move for XRP in the near future. Now, what this chart is telling us right here, XRP against Bitcoin, is that this move is likely going to be up because of the historical patterns we have seen. Typically, we are at a point right now where XRP makes massive moves against Bitcoin. We also know that the catalyst we're waiting for in the Ripple SEC case is likely going to be a very big positive catalyst, more indications that the ultimate breakout we're going to see is going to be upward. Now, guys, the other thing I want to talk about, and something that I believe has been very hard for people, is XRP's volatility. A lot of people see other coins going up and panic because XRP hasn't moved. A lot of people say, why are all these other things moving and XRP isn't? Does this mean XRP is dead? Does this mean people are essentially forgetting about XRP, running away from it? Should I get into other coins? I'm sure you guys have heard it all. And I just want to show you guys that what we're seeing right now is nothing we haven't seen before. So we can actually look at what happened before and see if these theories would have been right. And I think this is such a cool tool right here. What we're looking at is XRP charted against Bitcoin back in 2013 to 2017. And what you can see is a lot of people's worries about what XRP was doing back then could be completely reflected and flipped on to what we see today. The orange chart right here is Bitcoin. And what we can see is XRP over 2013 to 2017 was just trading sideways. There was almost no volatility. You were essentially at this time period where people were panicking. People are saying, okay, this coin is never going to do anything. It's a dead coin, right? Bankers are never going to adopt this, blah, 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 blah. You heard it all. And at the same exact time, Bitcoin was going parabolic. And it made it even harder for people because people are seeing everyone else make money. And they're saying, you know what? I'm just in the wrong coin. Clearly, if Bitcoin's going on this slow grind upward, it's slowly making gains, and XRP is just trading sideways and doing nothing. That likely means that no one's ever going to step into XRP. And this is something that I understand the sentiment behind, but the facts simply say a different story. Because if we just move the chart over slightly and take a look at what happens next, we can see that XRP simply moves differently. With only a small shift over, we can see that XRP in the matter of months completely outperformed Bitcoin, taking it over in a parabolic move upwards. And if we keep going, we can see that XRP continues to outperform Bitcoin as we go through the rest of this cycle. Guys, this is something that I believe is critical to understand and something that a lot of people completely overlook. Just because XRP has traded sideways in the short term does not mean that's going to continue. And history has told us that this is exactly what we should expect based on past things that have happened. Guys, I want to make this extremely clear. Nothing we're seeing in XRP today worries me in the slightest because we have seen this playbook play out before. We have seen these exact things. The last time people were panicking about Bitcoin outperforming something like XRP, the people who were panicking and making the last minute switch were ultimately the people selling their XRP for Bitcoin at these bottoms right here, the historical worst place to trade XRP for Bitcoin. So it is so critical to understand that none of this is new. None of this should be a surprise. And in fact, we actually have facts and charts we can look back to compare the times today to what happened before. And guys, just to show you something shocking, this right here is not the chart you were just looking at. This is the chart of XRP against Bitcoin today. And what you can see is it's almost the same exact thing to what we saw in 2013 to 2017. It's identical. It's actually the case that Bitcoin is actually lower against XRP than it was in 2013, or it was actually harder to actually be holding XRP against Bitcoin from 2013 to 2017 than it is today. So it actually could get to a point where Bitcoin goes up even more and XRP keeps lagging. But ultimately, because of the increases in fundamentals, because of everything we're seeing on the charts, I am extremely confident that in the same exact fashion in 2013 to 2017, we saw XRP very rapidly, very quickly, and very exponentially catch up. We are going to see that same thing again. And the people who panic, the people who sell, the people who move will ultimately just be making the same mistake again, trading their XRP for Bitcoin at the historical bottom. And like I have said, this is something that is not new. It is something we have seen. The people who are essentially making this transition here, panicking, getting scared, thinking it's all over, are the people who ultimately right here decided to make the move to get out of XRP and into Bitcoin. And those people missed most of the gains because before they could even make the switch back, before they could even realize they were wrong, XRP had already ripped their face off, gone exponential, gone parabolic, and left them in the dust. Guys, I really hope this breaks down for you that what we see today is not new, it's not different, and for me, it's not scary. For me, the fact that XRP's fundamentals are through the roof, we see more and more institutions using it, we see more and more projects building there, we see more and more adoption by the high-level people that matter, makes it so I could not be less concerned about the price. I understand that ultimately XRP will catch up and outperform the rest of the market. And for me, seeing these fundamental increases just makes me know that what we saw back in 2013 to 2017, where out of nowhere XRP essentially revalued, went exponential and caught up, is likely the same story we're going to see again. Everything lines up perfectly. The charts are telling us this is likely the situation, and the fundamental news catalysts seem to be in the positive direction going forward. Anyway, guys, I hope this brought you some clarity around this situation. I think this is one of the things that people struggle with most, especially as we're kind of at the end here of this pattern, as people are really getting to the point where max fear, max FUD, max uncertainty starts setting in. Guys, it doesn't take a genius to look at these charts and understand that typically the people who sell XRP for something like Bitcoin or another coin when we get to these historical levels are the people making the mistake. We'll see how it plays out this time, but based on what we're seeing on the back end with what Ripple has been accomplishing, with what the XRP ledger has been accomplishing, I have never been more confident that the people selling at the bottom are going to be wrong again. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.